Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Session 3 of Season 2 of Iron and Thorns, The Broken Throne. I am your humble game master this afternoon, but not always. And I am here with all of my friends who are very helpful and wonderful people. Sable, Joe, Vincent, and Alana. We are down one Hannah today, unfortunately. Alma is off in a tent comforting Marcy after some terrible site manager pissed her off.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was just asking if she needed anything from the store.
Sure. So thank you for joining us once again, and Hannah, feel better. We return to this, our second season, where we are playing Cypher Systems' Old Gods of Appalachia. It's an amazing horror anthology podcast created by Cam Collins and Steve Shell, and they developed this setting for Monty Cook's Cypher System, or rather Monty Cook developed the setting for Old Gods of Appalachia, and they have great input. They're doing a Kickstarter right now where you can sign up as a late backer and get a lot of extra bonus content. They're also doing a special reprint of the Old Gods of Appalachia core rulebook, as well as 3 new books, settings, adventures, stuff for GMs, stuff for players. I've backed it. I'm really excited for when that comes out, and you'll be seeing it in future sessions of Old Gods of Appalachia. Iron and Thorn. I know what we're playing.
Not again.
Because Old Gods of Appalachia is set in the Appalachian Mountains, setting near and dear to the original author's hearts, we have decided to set Iron and Thorn further north in the New England Northeast region. And this time we are in New York, upstate New York, which is technically still kind of in the Appalachian Range.
It is.
It is. Anyway, when last we met dear friends, we had a splitting of the party as our dear heroes followed Tommyknockers into the mines to retrieve stolen goods after some contemplation and some supply gathering. Flo, I'm so sorry, your name is Flo. Alma sits there too.
Yeah, okay.
Flo took a side jaunt while studying maps and keeping to herself in the cabin. Tani, George, Alma, and Simon followed after these Tommyknockers, following Simon's expertise. As Simon is fully aware of these creatures, Alma actually knows a little bit as well from her experience around mines. They know that Tommyknockers don't like to be disturbed, and if offered things, they will generally leave you alone. And as they follow them through, they find the Tommyknocker tunnels, a crawling, spidering system of narrow passageways and honeycombed networks designed to lose pursuers in the fray. But with some very helpful luck from George and some distinct problem solving from Alma, the 4 of you are able to track down the drills, and Simon, with your knowledge, lead the groups out of the Tommyknocker tunnels and build a little shrine, basically the Tommyknocker shelf, where you can leave food and supplies for them, so they will hopefully leave the bulk of your supplies alone. Over the following week, you all make exceptional progress on construction of this tunnel. And as a downtime activity, Simon takes a look at some of the flora of the surrounding area. He noticed that vines keep overhanging the entrance to the mine and mysteriously disappearing, growth and regrowth and fallback, as it were. The trees themselves, close together, overgrown, and brush appears in areas that it was not once before. He he takes note of these things. In the meantime, Alma is on her own. Not Alma. Good God, I'm gonna keep calling you Alma. Your name is Flo.
It doesn't help that my real name starts with an A. Just messing up
It's
more.
Alma, Alana, and also Alma sits there, and Flo is over there.
Also, Alana, Alina.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
It's
a real
rough.
problem.
it's all Hannah.
Your campaign 3 character will be Hannah.
Yeah, just to mess with everyone.
Anyway, Flo is on her own side quest, taking Everett's truck, a fact which he is quite aware of, and has unfortunately messed a bit with the supply levels, as Flo noticed. Deliveries, of course, being conducted only by Everett. Flo, in an attempt to gain more supplies, after checking in with Marcy a little bit unsuccessfully, has made her way to the Henderson Hunting Club to once again talk with Victor T. Howard III, the de facto leader and current resident of the clubhouse. If you happen to be a Patreon member, you have already listened to this wonderful little interlude. At least I hope it's up there. Once it was cut and final, I kind of did my bit.
Fine.
Maybe it's just a dark screen. Maybe there's like an hour and a half long video of Bucci. I don't know.
That's also good.
I mean, yeah, I was going to say, I got to go check that out.
Bucci's my cat. Anyway,
She's really cute.
with that being said, this is where we begin our session. Turning to Flo, as the rest of you, having made great progress in the mines, have finally opened up to the greater tunnel structure below. And while you all stare into the abyss in front of you, Flo is looking at another one. Flo, you are currently sitting in the, not waiting room, but kind of the foyer, biding your time, thinking about different, things you can leverage to get a better loan deal. You are working for the railroad, and Mr. Howard did mention that on behalf of the railroad, you could potentially make a loan deal. And, true to your word, stayed right where you were and proceeded to investigate none of the open and unmonitored clubhouse.
Nope.
Not even a little.
Not even a little bit. Listen, I already pissed off that butler once. We finally are starting to make a headway. Got chewed out earlier today.
He was determined to be mad, though.
Was he?
The
There are
butler?
some people.
Yeah.
Some people are just like being mad.
Yeah, I get it.
Jackson, the butler, returns. It has been roughly 30 minutes since you were left alone in the foyer. Just looking over the various pictures and imagery, assessing the various hunting trophies, making your way through the salon and into the foyer, back and forth, just thinking. Jackson returns and says, Ms. Lovejoy, you are awaited in the study.
Thank you, Jackson.
He
and
ushers you forward.
I will kind of just straighten myself up a little bit as much as I can and head over to the foyer. Or the study, excuse me, not the foyer. You just kept saying foyer, and then my brain's like, foyer.
It's the foyer.
It's a fun thing to
It's
say.
a fun
Yeah.
little thing to say. Jackson ushers you through the hall and down towards the study proper. The large cherry wood door stained a dark color stands before you with the ornate handle and the little glass knob that has been chiseled to look like a gem in front of you. He reaches down, knocks, seems to hear something, and opens the door and stands aside. You enter the study, a room that you are familiar with. You have been in it before. And once more, cleared of anyone but Victor, despite there being more desks than just his.
Right.
You see a kind of a waft of smoke around the room. He appears to be once more smoking a hefty cigar, and is currently flipping through some pages at a bookshelf behind his desk. Well, let's get this over with. We have some business, you said?
So, as I enter the room and observe, I'm going to spend 2 intelligence to do applied observation, which I can take a beat and take in a person in front of me, and I will get an eased for my interactions with them.
Wonderful. Wonderful use of that.
Yes. We sure need it today.
You sure do.
Yay.
You're low on supplies.
Oh, supplies. Okay. Flo's going to kind of.
And from our interlude, because we did that online and you did not
Yes.
have access to this,
Oh,
your tokens,
thank you.
which should scare all of you.
It's a lot of
She has so
tokens.
many tokens. Did she roll a lot of 20s?
No.
Oh no.
There's an even number. Well,
Anyway,
Moving on.
moving on. So,
Darn.
let me actually bring up my notes really quick. So, what's his last name? My brain wants to say Howard, but I'm
Yes.
Howard. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, today I was wondering if I could take you up on that loan offer. It seems that some of the supplies that we've been going through, they aren't really they're not keeping the morale up, let's say. And I would really appreciate it if we could come to an agreement on making those supplies a little bit more robust going forward.
A little bit of a morale booster, you say? He snaps the book shut, places it down on a side table, and strides over to his desk, gesturing at you to sit at the chair opposite.
Will do.
He doesn't sit. He heads over to a little bar cart, pulls out a crystal decanter, and begins pouring a beverage. And comes back, beverage in hand. Ms. Lovejoy, is this the first time you're overseeing employees? You seem like a fine young woman.
And you punched him in the nuts.
You're not there.
I know.
Mr. Howard, when was the last time you went into a mine?
I will admit, mining is not my specialty.
Well, there's something about standing in a claustrophobic tunnel, staring down nothing but darkness, and knowing that one wrong move means you'll be meeting your maker today. Makes people a little antsy. A little bit of a morale booster helps keep everyone nice and productive.
I can admit when I don't have expertise on a thing.
Likewise. So, I was hoping that we could make a mutually beneficial agreement. You mentioned earlier that there were things around the area that you were interested in. I am perfectly willing to make an agreement for the monetary loan for the supplies, but also include a secondary agreement where anything we find that is of interest to you, you get right of first refusal.
Go ahead and make an intellect roll. This is going to be a level 5, and it's insight into another person and their motives. So if you have anything to ease that.
Okay.
And you may use your
Yes, so
your
use it
easement.
1 to 4.
it's too bad we're not there.
I know, right? Can we like spirit bomb send her like energy and
That's
praise?
probably good for
George would just talk about trickle-down economics and how good it is and thank him for being rich.
Any day now, it'll come trickling down.
Or he'd be like, what did
Okay.
you say to Flo?
So I have a question.
Mhm.
Cracks knuckles.
For making a recovery roll, it's an action.
Mhm.
Can I do that now? Or is that only outside of interactions?
I would say that is outside of
Okay,
interaction.
cool. That is totally fine, because I'm just low on intellect points, which is fine.
I would say you could have done it in the foyer.
Okay.
Don't forget, I am a kind and generous game master.
Okay.
And plus your
Flo.
tier 2. Oh no.
Listen, I have the amount to level up now, which I'm gonna do once we sleep, but listen, there are things that happened and it's been a long couple of days. So I will now spend the 2 points I just to ease that one more down to a 3 to make that more reasonable. Okay. So we're down to 3. I don't have anything else. So it's a 9.
This music is sketchy. Oh,
I
let's
rolled a
go.
2.
Ah!
You were so close.
We're
though.
so close.
Damn.
Flo, you watch his facial features and inscrutable. Something about this man. You gave him some paperwork, and he seemed real comfortable with putting paperwork in drawers. Maybe he's made deals before, but he was interested in the academic notes. What you got there?
So, reading his face, Flo will like pull her journal out and pull out the business card and hand over. I do believe I have my contact's information at the railroad.
And do you give it to him to keep?
I do.
Flo, make a intellect check around the understanding of magic.
Oh my god. I know magic real well. It's definitely not inhibited.
It's going to be a level 5.
I rolled a 16.
Damn.
Yeah.
This keeps happening.
That card could have been useful.
We will never know.
You feel as you hand it over that you have lost something. Well, some leverage that you had
No.
and is now gone. You could get it back. And you see as he holds the card in his hand, mulls over it. Ms. Lovejoy, I thought you understood, and I thought the man from the railroad had explained. The academic interests have already been agreed upon. I already have right of first refusal. After all, we own these mountains. The railroad is here by agreement with us. There are some other concessions we could make. Some side expeditions. As you know, there's minerals in the mountain. And the rights, of course, are yours as per your agreement with the railroad. And, of course, the academic notes are of my particular interest. I had an agreement with the former owner of the mine. And, of course, when the mine and its town fails, the agreement passed to me. As with all failures, you do need to be compensated as an investor, and he gestures around to the clubhouse, the windows outside. I was compensated. Ms. Lovejoy, if you would be so kind as to further map the mines and its tunnels and provide us with accurate information on their current layout. God damn it, Joe.
I was trying to do it quietly and innocuously, but you called attention to it. There's gold in them there.
If that... I do know that site managers have tried mapping those tunnels in the past, and for some reason they have not come back with the maps themselves. They just run off into the hills. If you could provide us with these maps, I would be most obliged and certainly incentivized to fund part of this expedition. And as you are indeed not fully contracted with the railroad, but an outside contractor, I see no issue with this as long as the structural integrity of the railroad tunnel is not damaged.
Oh my god, you have so much leverage. Go, Flo, go.
So, well, first and foremost, I am someone who takes great pride in her work. I would make sure that anything done would be done with utmost care. It just so happens that mapping is one of my specialties. And that is most certainly something that we can work with.
This is good to hear. What sort of time frame do you need?
Well, Flo's gonna take a second and think about it. And judging by what we've done so far, which isn't a ton, because I haven't been in the mine recently, so I don't have a great understanding of how long. But
How long have we been at this? Has it been like a week, 2 weeks?
2.5 weeks.
We haven't found anything worth mapping yet.
No, but Flo did do like an extensive amount of mapping to some degree already, right?
I did.
Yeah.
So,
We haven't found anything yet? Shut up.
so knowing what I know about the structures that are already there and the rough distance that we need to go, do I have an idea of the time frame that it would take?
So you have a lot. The only thing that you would require really is verifying the map's accuracy yourself. A couple days, judging by what you've seen of the tunnels.
So, two weeks.
Oh.
2 weeks, and I can make you a highly accurate map of the current tunnel, as well as have survey notes about the rock structure in the area.
Well, Miss Lovejoy, not only is that time frame quite miraculous, 2 weeks to explore a whole mine, but also the survey. I would be very interested to see those notes. I believe you have yourselves a deal. I will work on drawing up the particulars, but in advance, as a sign of goodwill. Have Jackson take you towards the kitchens. I believe there's a few catches that might be make the various meals a little bit more hearty. And I think there's some bottles of sherry in the store that might do a little bit towards morale boosting.
Alright. So, to be clear, the current structures, not anything we've mined out yet.
There's been mining taking place past the tunnel.
Small amount. Like I said, things have been... We've been being careful, considering the unusual state of the mine.
Indeed. Good choice. Any existing tunnel structure, then, shall we say. Does that sound reasonable?
Flo's gonna take a second to think about it.
I mean, we're gonna take the goods and run anyway, so.
Kind of like think about the amount of mapping she's already done, and be like, and it does.
Wonderful. And flow one more. A level 5.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do again around the understanding of magic. You can spend
3. There's no point in spending on that one. I've gotten so lucky.
You have to
It's
get a
little
4
tingle.
next.
And as the smoke begins to fill the room from his cigar, and you smell the fumes from the alcohol, you find your brain a little fuzzy. Something's happened. But maybe it's just the atmosphere. It's a stuffy room. And as Victor signals for Jackson, who seems to come almost unbidden before he even raises his hand, to take you to the kitchens. He says, "A pleasure doing business with you, Miss Lovejoy. Happy hunting."
Likewise.
It's an asshole.
And from there, we head back towards the camp. And towards our happy little miners.
Yeah!
Alma's been pulled away. About midway through the project, after telling you all, it's time for your 5-minute break, it's time for your 5-minute break, once more 5-minute break every 20 minutes. You aren't quite sure whether or not to be relieved or to be sad about the fact that all the breaks are finally ending as she gets pulled towards the sound of Marcy hollering at somebody. While Alma goes to deal with all that, we get to the point we had discussed before where you had broken through the walls. Before you sprawls an old mine tunnel. It seems as though you have intersected with the true mine proper. While other of these tunnels you have come across have been a little bit narrower, a little bit smaller, this seems to be a main shaft. And as you open it up, you look down and you see the little winch, some ladders going down, and it's just leading at a very steep angle down into the earth. It will require a substantial amount of fill to kind of cover up this area to make it safe for a whole train engine to pass over top of it. But while you're here, and again, Simon, you have familiarity with like strip mining and that kind of thing. Maybe this represents the area where they started their strip mining process. For those of you not familiar with mining and how that works, 90-degree angles are the way to go. And you just kind of cut across until you find everything that you can possibly pull out using various shafts and tunnel structures. And it is indeed, as Flo mentioned, claustrophobic. But every once in a while you find a big area that they hit a good vein. This, however, just seems to be a shaft downwards, and from where you are, you can't really see what it opens up into, but it definitely opens up. What are y'all doing?
Can we see the bottom?
If you step through and make the hole a little bit wider so that you are like able to physically enter that section.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's a platform where you can stand on. It's not immediately down.
I climb straight onto the platform and I look down.
Yeah, you can see the bottom. It's going to be a little bit of a climb, but nothing you can't handle. A routine task, as it were.
We'll turn over to Simon, our most senior miner, and I'll say, Simon, should we go take a look?
You see Simon start to take out his travel pack and start taking out some rope. Well, that is what we're here for. And he'll start to like find a way to anchor some rope to make it easier for himself to climb down.
You start to like set up safety protocols and like you know that climbing down the side of these mine shafts can be treacherous. You don't know when this ladder was last used, so it's probably damaged in some way. And as you are like securing your rope to like the edge of the winch on the more like metal bits, George just like, he's a big guy, but somehow he slipped past you and has started going down this ladder.
He looks over and smiles. Ah, the vigor of youth.
I'll look back up and I'll be like, Simon, there's already a ladder here. And it's a little rickety, but if it's lasted this long, it's probably going to last forever.
Oh.
George, go ahead and give me a speed check. Around, let's give it a level 3. It's a quickness and reflexes.
And it's a non-combat.
It's non-combat.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, that's a 12.
Very nice. As you say, it's a little rickety, but it's safe. You start to rattle the ladder a little bit, and you hear, and you just in time, as you slip from one rung to the next, break maybe about 3 rungs. You get a little bit of splinters in your hands, but you land safely. You catch.
I imagine it's the kind of thing where it's just like hitting each other.
Is it just the 3 of us? Are there any others around?
Oh, you would see like the rest of the workers are just kind of like, what you got there?
Is Flo coming back to camp and or joining us in the tunnel?
So what I was just describing is happening at the same time.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, so while Flo's in town.
Okay.
I would like to direct the other miners, try to distract them by telling them to like finish winching the rope so I can go over and try to hedge magic fix the ladder.
Okay.
Without them watching.
He's gonna go over and be like right over Simon's shoulder, staring, waiting for the finger poke of magic.
I start poking around, seeing if there's any way that I can get myself into trouble.
Very nice. So you instruct Lyndon and Patrick to kind of like secure the rope, finish it up.
Just as a backup.
Just as a backup. You've already tied a few knots, so you know it's secure. But you know it's good to make the youngins feel helpful.
Gotta teach them how to tie a rope.
Yeah, and as George has already gone down, and Tanny's following you very closely behind, you go down and you use hedge magic to fix up the rungs, and as you're going down, you kind of patch up little bits and shore it up a little bit.
I'm gonna yell over to George. George, he's not even poking it with his finger this time. This has gotta be something different.
I'm trying to touch everything that I see, and I haven't had that effect on anything yet.
I thought we had figured it out with the bread, and I'm starting to second guess us, George.
And Tanny, there's all kinds of cool stuff to touch down here.
Oh.
I'm
Nice. I'm just gonna pull out a couple of dice because I made a thing, and now I get to roll because Flo's not here.
Oh boy, sure.
I didn't come back. People are missing fucking fingers.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, that's a possibility.
Can I eat that?
So you head down.
Ooh, a standing pool of water. Probably perfect to drink from.
For sure. Yeah, that's absolutely wonderful.
That's
Can I
crystal
take a
clear.
moment to make a recovery roll?
Sure, you can take a moment.
Alright, I take a breath.
I'm like,
Well,
wow, that was deep breath, man.
Did you roll into the teacup? We learned you have to basically very lightly
Like
drop it, and it goes.
It
rolls
bounced
in
out like
front.
a trampoline.
Yeah, it's just like from a small height, and it has to be resin dice. If it's like acrylic dice. If it's resin dice, it bounces real hard.
Yeah.
And metal or gemstone dice get damaged.
Yeah.
Or damage it.
It's like the danger sugar cubes.
Can you pass me that one?
On the drive back, I'm also going to take a recovery roll. How long is the drive?
The drive is roughly like 2 hours.
Okay, then
So
I'll take 2 recovery rolls on the way back.
Here, this one's corn colored.
Yeah, whichever. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, look at that.
Nice.
I kept looking at the red one, like really wanting to sip it.
I know.
Because it looks like delicious fruit punch.
There's one that looks just like actual tea.
This one,
that's
yeah.
This one also.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
Oh, that one too.
you head off, and in front of you, the tunnel just extends. Are you heading down? It's dark.
Did you have a flashlight or something? No, you had your glowy stick magic, right?
Yeah, but I'm not using it.
Yeah, right.
Because there's other miners about. Are they coming with us, or?
Yeah, they lean down and is like,
As we go down, I guess I'll tell them. We'll take a look.
we'll start getting some fill, I guess.
Yeah.
And Gainer from above. It's like, I think maybe we can, I don't know, maybe we can break some of the rocks outside down. I think we could probably make some fill. But Everett hasn't been getting supplies lately on account of Flo taking the truck all the time. But, yeah, maybe.
Listen,
Flo's
guys-
got shit to do.
you guys are going to listen to what happened. You're going to be like, wow, good thing she took the fucking truck.
No, you're gonna be like, we got you extra supplies, and we're gonna be like, we were doing fine on our own.
Listen.
You're gonna show up as like a whole new like civilization built there. Spaceport.
Well, yeah, we built a couple of cabins already, right?
You did build cabins. you
Yeah, no, be
Yeah, you over the week you've seen like a cabin structure erect, and you've seen like also a couple of foundations on the following days start going up. They're actually like building structures here in their downtime.
I mean, that's awesome. Listen, I gotten so much information though. You guys are gonna be so happy with me when I get back.
Yeah.
All right. So are you heading down the tunnel?
You're in front, right?
They
Oh,
start.
Hell
Wait,
Yeah?
how? Do you have a light source?
No. The belief in myself is the light source that I'm using, and my hands touching everything, like reaching in front of me, just kind of feeling around. But you know.
Hey George, wait up.
Oh, okay.
I'll pick up a rock,
Mhm.
and I'll like reach out for your hand.
I'll feel my way back. I'm imagining I'm looking a good 30 feet in at this point, so I'll feel my way back. I get a little bit turned around. You hear the breathing get a little deeper, but then I didn't get lost at all. Hi, Simon.
And I'll take your hand, and I'll put my hand over it, and then as he takes his hand away, there's a rock that's now glowing with light.
Now, to be clear, was that you or me?
George, I think you did it.
It doesn't matter. Use it to light your way.
I think you did it. You touched all. Maybe it was the certain type of rock, and then you just touched it, and then that was it.
Tanner, we have important science to do, but not right now. I'm gonna run straight ahead.
Yeah.
Holding the rock as a beacon in this dark space. And I'm still touching everything.
Yeah, I'm picking rocks up and just kind of like trying my
as
luck.
I'm going, though, I am looking to make sure I'm not. Now that I have a light source, I am looking to make sure I don't plummet into like the darkness somewhere. Because like now
Wasn't
I'm
important
looking,
before.
I'm like, oh boy, this is not as even as I thought it was when I was just running straight ahead.
Where's that pool of water?
You run straight ahead down this tunnel, and you hold the rock in front of you, just like kind of doing one of these things. The tunnel begins to grow narrower and narrower, and you get to a point where you can run. You can still fit like across. These were definitely built by humans, and this seems to be one of the more major tunnels. And you come to an area that's been a little bit mined a little bit more. You have a little bit more of space. There are 3 tunnels shooting off from it at various angles. And as you look through, anyone who wants to can give me perception checks, or you can just let it go, whatever you like, you know.
Letting it go.
Let what go?
The perception check.
Oh, I'll make one.
It'll be level 3.
It worked out perfect the last time we did
Intellect.
it.
No.
No, great. We're going left.
I love all of you so much.
I would like to note, and I learned this from Minka, I'm going to make chalk marks. to find our way back.
Very nice.
Someone has learned something.
We are combining our Minka knowledge with some chalk marks and the power of light.
To be clear, Joe know this is not a good idea, but George moves the plot forward, and also
It's very important.
he's eager.
All right.
Yeah.
Almost like he's foolish.
It sounds like he's foolish. So you take a hard left and you come to another wide open space. This one has a little bit more of a strange tunnel set up to it. Instead of the normal offshoots, the 90-degree angles, there's also a couple that are headed down and further deeper into the mines and up. So you have 3 of the normal 90-degree, the one you just came down, that way and that way. And then you have 2 going up and 1 going down.
Hey, George. Where are we going next?
Well, now it's getting kind of weird. These tunnels, do they look like normal human-sized tunnels? The ones going down?
The ones going down, the one going down does, yeah. It has a little ladder associated with it. That one seems like a normal mine shaft. The one's going up a little bit odd.
I'm gonna close my eyes and I'm just gonna really believe in myself.
Yeah?
And I'm gonna go down the ladder.
All right.
Can I make a perception check at this juncture?
Sure.
I imagine I'm lagging a little bit behind, so. But as I get there, and as he's already gone down, 18.
You feel the wind on your face from the tunnels up above, but they are very small. Potentially, they were some Tommyknocker tunnels at one point, maybe. But other than that, the cavern itself is largely innocuous. You see a couple of iron veins that are in here, something you're used to seeing from your quarry days, and something that you've got really familiarized with is a couple of specks of garnet. So there's some garnet that's just floating around in here.
Is that odd? I feel like if they strip mine this, wouldn't they have taken that garnet, or is this not like a good?
A couple
vein
of them
to know?
seem like they're just very small, maybe some leftover pieces that just didn't seem worth excavating. But the size of this room indicates that maybe they did take everything in here.
Ah, I see. So this was like a garnet, an iron vein, which
You know-
has seen the.
Yeah, it was mostly meant for iron. It seems like the garnet was a nice little side addition. And from what you've experienced with garnet mining, is a lot of that happens from like the top down. There's not a whole lot of like deep garnet mining. This is definitely more of an iron situation.
So you're on the ladder or down the ladder, George?
On the ladder.
Okay. I'm gonna be at the top of the ladder, just kind of like watching what you're doing and just kind of looking around a little bit, and I'm gonna turn and look at Simon and go, where do you think we should go, Simon? It seems like George is picking some good places, but what are we looking for?
George is definitely picking some places.
He sure is.
I'm gonna look up hearing this and I'm just gonna go, well look, I haven't seen any corn so far, so I feel like we're on the right track. But if you have a different suggestion, I'm open to it.
Wait, we're not looking for corn then? What are we supposed to be looking for?
I'll look over at
I'm
Simon.
really sure what we're looking for.
Well, why are we down here then?
Yeah. What? Oh, out of character question. What did we come in here with the intention of doing?
I don't know.
Just
George
exploring?
George just saw the hole and he went.
No, before
I
that.
said, should we? And then Simon said, well, that's why we're here. So George went, no.
Guys!
Before that, though, when we
All right.
knocked down the wall, what was the intention of
So-
coming in?
We're digging the tunnel. We're
Yeah,
not
you've
gonna-
been
Digging
digging
a
a rail
tunnel through.
tunnel, and you'll need a substantial amount of fill to cover up this shaft to make it safe for a train to go over it.
Yep.
Otherwise, crash.
So
To
now we're
Continue answering
exploring,
your question.
but we were supposed to be digging.
Digging a tunnel, but now we found a mine. And to answer your question, what are we looking for? I'm not really sure, but judging by the maps in Flo's office, she knows there's something more in these hills.
But we were digging before, right? But we're not digging now. Were we supposed to be digging?
I mean, we can keep digging while we look.
Tanny, you know that you were just building a tunnel. Just go straight through.
We knocked down the wall, though.
We dunked down a wall into a mine that had already been mined.
I know. I'm confused. I'm confused about whether we're supposed to be exploring or did we just go a random way and we were supposed to be doing something else. Were we supposed to? Okay.
Yeah,
In character.
we were supposed
In
to be
character,
tunneling.
I'm trying to figure out if we were supposed to be digging or if we're just supposed to be off an adventure now.
We're off on an adventure now.
I'm trying to figure
found
out if
mine,
we have
and
now.
we're
Supposed
just-
to be digging our tunnel.
Did
we
we?
found this? We accidentally kind of stumbled upon the shaft.
Mhm.
Now we're on an adventure.
Are we derailing?
Are you asking Kara if
Yes.
you have gone off the rail tracks?
Yes.
I will never tell you. I will never stop you from doing whatever your
But
little
you
character
prepared
hearts.
stuff, and
I'll
Tanny.
look over at.
So,
I was just gonna say, Sable.
Yes.
Last time we ended the game by like hitting someone with a shovel real hard. That's like the last moments of the game was just whacking things with a shovel real hard. So like we just are kind of here to
okay.
experience.
I design whole sections that people just never see.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
Okay.
we don't know
But we
what
had-
we're looking for, but there seems to be something to be found in these hills.
We had
Perhaps it's best that we go back and maybe bring the others with us, because it could be dangerous if we go further.
we had that whole part where we wasted 30 minutes and then we came in and then the Tommy knocker. So now I'm kind of like, did we derail and go do a thing when we were supposed to be doing
Never
something
worry
important?
about that, Sable.
I've okay.
Never
The
worry.
plot
Off we
move
go.
The plot happens whether or not we like
Yeah.
If we
it.
waste enough time, the mountain collapses and the old god rises.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Figure it out from there.
What was the last thing you just said?
We should stop splitting the party. We should go back and bring the others, because I think Flo might know a little bit more about what we might be looking for that we're not told that we're looking for.
That's a pretty good idea, Simon.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm very tempted to be like, but this is fun.
Would Tanny think this is fun?
But Simon, maybe there's a way.
No, it's not responsible.
There you
There's
go.
some
Gotta go
kind
back.
of ability that you have. Or we could find something really cool before we go back up. Just really quick, just in like 10 minutes.
You do have that glowing rock.
Here, I think there's some garnet around these, around this hollowed out cavern.
Do you mean garment like clothing?
No,
I've already got garments.
I
I've
know,
got
we're
2
already
shirts.
wearing plenty, right? We don't need to pick up any more.
come over this garnet, and I'm gonna point out some of the red leftover like garnet things in the wall. The red gem garnet,
This is just a little rock. And I'm going to pry a piece out.
but
with
it's a
my
shiny
bare
rock.
hands.
Go ahead.
Good luck.
Give me a strength difficulty of 4.
Wait, can I hand him a pickaxe?
I'm gonna use. So I have an
I mean,
edge
still
of
have the
2 for might.
sledgehammer.
That means I can spend 1 to decrease it by 1, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna spend 1 to decrease it by 1. It is a non-combat task.
It is indeed.
Unless it's a mimic.
Dumbest shit ever.
I mean,
Let's fucking go.
The 2 games have become the same game.
We are in a mine.
so now this is a 3. which
Alana's
means-
doing cool rock checks.
What do I need for
Yeah.
3? It's a 9.
9.
It's a 9.
I ironically dropped my plum bob. It's on the floor.
Vincent has the has the text for a plumb bob.
Okay.
Yeah, you go to hand George a pickaxe just to like, mine it the normal way, and George just reaches up his bare hand, and you hear a little as George pulls a little hunk of garnet out. It's not something that would be worth much, just from a quick glance. There's a lot of like occlusion to it. There's some chips and cuts. It would take a lot to polish it down, and then it would be very small. But it's shiny.
Quick, George, can you make that one glow too?
No.
Oh.
Simon, maybe you could use this more than I could, and I'll give it to Simon.
Thank you.
You have a little hunk of garnet.
Hunk of garnet.
You can add that to your materials list. So are you all continuing, or are you heading back to the surface?
I'll take a look at this tunnel. I'll look over at Simon, who's led us so far. We just got a garnet, and that's pretty cool. It's not something we could wear, which I don't quite get, but I'll just follow Simon.
If you want, we could do one more tunnel and then maybe head back.
I'll run down another tunnel.
All right, are you going
don't
down
wanna
down the ladder?
Yeah.
We shouldn't be gone too long. We don't want to become a reason for them to, as I speak only to Tanny now,
Yep.
for them to
Oh no,
send us
I'm
their
halfway
cards.
down.
As you look up from the guard in your hand and realize there are 2 outlines of where the people are you were speaking to.
Can you go left, I go right.
We'll cover more ground.
Please.
Guys, I'm so happy to come back to one person in my team.
So you rush down these tunnels, and I would like everyone to give me a perception check.
Is that intellect?
It is intellect.
Is it to spot a hidden thing?
I
For my reverse hypergezo?
would say probably not.
Okay.
This feels important. I'm gonna spend 2 levels of effort. What's the difficulty?
Oh, apologies. I didn't think to look up the difficulty.
I didn't roll very well.
I rolled a 14.
It's a 3.
Hell yeah.
I barely made it.
You barely
Only because
made
I tried really hard. We efforting.
You hear little quiet ding, 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 and you recognize the sound of a little tiny chisel. You haven't seen evidence of Tommyknockers down here. You haven't heard them. You know from the way you've been going left and left and left. You're going away from those tunnels. There's a potential they loop around, but the size of this tunnel is human-sized. Some miners didn't return. Ding, ding.
Hey, George.
Yeah.
Do you hear that?
It sounds like tinkling in the distance.
Like someone's taking a whiz?
No, I'm gonna kind of move towards it.
And as you move towards it, do you still have your glowing rock?
Yeah.
He has my glowing rock, yeah.
All right.
Uh-oh.
I would love for you to roll initiative.
Oh.
Everybody.
Oh, fuck.
So the way initiative works, yeah, I'm sorry, Flo, you're driving back. So the way initiative works in Cypher system is basically you are trying to beat my character's task level to go before them.
Okay.
And if you happen to roll in the same cohort as somebody else, you can discuss who acts first. But you have an action per thing. So what'd y'all get? 12?
18.
18.
9.
Great. That means all of you go first. As you rush down this tunnel, George, you see in front of you a man in old coveralls that have seen better days. They're ripped, they're torn, they're blackened, and you see his skin graying, and you just see him with a little hammer and a chisel. Ding, 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 as he's made almost a foot deep hole, just straight forward. It's just one round thing. Ding. And as you rush forward, he turns to you. You all can act first. What you got? What you doing?
Do I recognize what it is, or is it an action to observe him and try to identify what he is?
It is in action to observe and identify.
I would like to. Can I go first to do that?
Sure, because I'm gonna attack this dude.
Yeah. Well, but story-wise,
Oh, story-wise?
you are first in line. You are the one who
we get the
sees
pick.
him.
Yeah,
yeah.
she's right. She's saying story-wise, George sped on ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Narrative
right.
standpoint, I'm running straight ahead.
So I'm not even there
I'm
yet.
behind and you are behind me,
And as
maybe
I-
a couple feet.
As I round the corner, as a good boy, what George sees is somebody stealing from our company. And so I am going to round the corner and I'm going to shout out, "Stop! That's company property!" And I am ready to get rough and rowdy and I'm going to attack them. I'm gonna hit them real hard.
Very nice. Go ahead and give me a level 5.
Just walk around the corner and
I'm
punch
gonna
the man in
spend
the face.
one.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, I'm running around the corner and I'm punching the guy.
Yeah, buddy.
I use
Now,
my
ask
one
questions.
to
Let's
make it
fucking
difficult
go.
before this is a
Ask
combat
questions
task.
never.
It is
I only get to roll 1. Okay.
There's
That's-
gonna be a tidal wave of
I'm just seeing
problems
if there's
coming.
anything else because this is new. I don't have any weapons. I am carefree.
Can I still have my sledgehammer?
Okay, here we go.
It would make sense. You have.
That's a natural 1.
Oh fuck.
You
Those are bad.
watch.
No, they're good.
It's gonna be
Still
awesome.
You watch as the thing turns towards you. His eyes just grayed over, and no iris or pupil visible. It seems as you've seen this before with like people who have injuries. They're blind. It seems this thing is completely blind, but still knows how to hit. And I would love for you to roll. So your attack does hit, and you do deal damage. And how much does your damage normally deal?
Oh no, it's a child. My damage, it's +2 damage to an unarmed strike, which is considered for me a medium weapon.
So it's 6.
6 points of damage.
Do you just punch a wall? Do you just break her hand?
No, he does connect. And as he connects, I need you to roll 2 might defense rolls, please. Level 5.
Okay. One thing about me, I do have flesh to stone. I have +1 armor, and I'm not wearing any armor, which I think only is for damage.
Mhm.
So 2 separate mights.
2 separate might rolls.
19 and another natural 1.
Very nice on the first one, and I'm so sorry on the second one. Your hit connects as you just sink your fist into this guy's face, and you hear bone crack. And as that bone cracks, you feel another fist connect with yours as this thing brings up its hand and just does a little bit of a haymaker on you. And you take 6 points of damage.
Ouch.
And then is that reduced by 1? Because
The
of the
armor.
armor?
Was the armor.
Okay. Dang.
And it's light armor, right? It's a +1 armor?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's 1. And because of that, you have a little bit of like a fuzzy brain feeling. Your eyes kind of like can't focus, but you see just in time the chisel come around the other side, about to stab you, and you duck just in time.
Whew.
Go ahead and next, whoever wants to go.
I'm behind. I'm gonna see George swing, connect, and then get punched. And I'm just gonna fly in with my sledgehammer, swinging, and I'm gonna use Weapon Wielder. It says you add +1 damage to one type of weapon attack of your choice.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is my first.
So you're gonna roll a might roll. It's a level 5.
Is it a D20?
It is D20.
Oh, fucking Christ.
We're doing dope, right?
Oh, it's a 1.
Wonderful.
Protector!
So your heavy
Protect
weapon.
the mountain.
Your heavy weapon does 7 points of damage because you're adding 1,
Okay.
and it is a sledgehammer.
Hell yeah.
So your attack does hit, and you watch as, like, George has like crouched down, which is perfect for you. You come in and you save the golden corn boy, and you swing the sledgehammer, and you feel it connect into like the chest abdominal region, and you see as your sledgehammer breaks through. And with the force of your attack, I need 2 defense rolls, both might based, level 5.
Level 5 means I gotta get 15.
Mhm.
And I can use. It's 1 easier because I have an edge of 1.
So you can spend your effort minus your edge. So effort would be the first level of effort is 3, and then so 3 pool points minus your edge, which is 1, so that's 2.
Neither of you are trained in might defense, right?
I'm trained in might defense and speed defense.
Okay.
I don't think so. What did you choose that?
I chose it for my.
It's been 2 weeks, and we haven't done combat
You
ever.
would have it
Yeah.
here under skills. If it doesn't say it there, then
Oh,
say
sorry.
you don't.
I have speed defense. Sorry.
this time too.
No, I have intellectual defense.
Okay.
So
Inability and intellectual defense.
I got an 8. How many do I need to spend to get?
You can't.
You can't.
No.
No.
You rolled
Okay.
too low, and you also need to decide to use it before
Oh.
you make the roll.
Okay.
For effort, you need to.
Okay,
before.
so that's one of the rolls.
So one failure. Go
Yes.
ahead and roll another one.
Now, if you want, you can spend effort before you roll.
Okay.
If you spend,
So if you think you can get a 15, go for it.
Probably
Otherwise, if you want to spend effort,
Yes.
it's 3 points minus edge.
So is it 2 points per each, or just 2 points for
2
the
points
first?
for the first one,
Okay.
and or 5 points if you have the ability to apply 2 levels of effort.
Yes. So then I go
So it's
down
5
to,
minus edge.
So 4. So I go down to 10 for mine.
so you're spending 2 levels of effort.
Yeah.
Okay.
Math.
Do I now not have edge?
No, you keep your edge.
The edge is like a permanent modifier.
What is the
Ev-
pool then?
We'll talk about
Okay,
that at
yeah.
the break. You're doing great.
Yeah, you're doing it right.
Oh, thank God, 7. So I needed the help.
You did need the help. But also it only decreased it by 2, and it was a 5.
So you needed a 9 or higher.
Yeah.
Oh, balls. Okay.
But it's okay. Because now I get to hit you
Oh,
twice. And as your sledgehammer connects, this thing just kind of roundhouse hits you both against the ears. It kind of claps, and you feel something inside your ears kind of like rupture almost. Blood starts to pool a little bit in one of your ears as you are dealt 8 points of damage. But
Do you have armor on?
I don't think so. I think I took simple clothes. I do have light armor.
If
There
have
you go,
flesh
so
to
minus
stone-
1.
Okay.
So you take 7 damage to your might pool, right?
7 damage to. So I'm down to 3.
So I did look this up. There is an order with a damage track. You take intellect. So damage order is might, speed, intellect. Intellect is the last pool to pull from. All right, but
That's if the damage isn't any specific type, right?
thankfully, as the fists connect with your ears, they fall to the ground as nothing is really holding them up anymore. And you see it, this thing crumples over your sledgehammer and kind of breaks in half. And you see it kind of twitch a little bit. And Simon, you arrive on the scene as this thing is already in 2 pieces. And you are out of initiative, but you have a thing on the floor.
Can I crush it?
Yeah, I started punching it.
It's also crushed. So
Oh.
you've
Well, I
like
mean, to the point where it doesn't move.
Yeah.
you can
know.
crush it to more pulp.
It's the scene from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure where we finished.
As I turn the
tea
corner,
and then we just start
I'm gonna say wait,
Yeah.
so I can take a look at it.
So you shout "wait" as you watch these
We're
2
busy.
powerhouses just like turn this thing into pulp.
pausing for like exactly the amount of time it takes for someone to take a look at it, and then continuing to stomp on it.
Go ahead and take your look.
Difficulty?
Level 3.
Oh, the JoJo's reference.
Yeah,
It's so good.
Look quick, old man.
I look quick.
You look quick.
I used 2 levels of effort and I rolled an 11.
Wonderful. You look at this thing. Thankfully, the head is still intact, so you can get a little bit of a better view. Because otherwise, this would just seem like a giant thing that they have crushed to pulp. It seemed like they left the head for last. But you look at this vacant expression. The blinding of the eyes may be done by some chemical interaction, but there doesn't seem to be any sign of, like, distress around the eyes themselves, almost as if whatever happened to the eyes was after this thing could feel pain. And as you were watching it attack these folks, you noticed how they could still hit and it would keep going. It didn't seem to mind. Its mindless drilling of this tiny little hole that it's created. It's not intentional. Seems to be a singular focus. You've not really encountered these things before. But you know that it's a thing that seems to have been ordered to do a thing. And its focus is such that it can only give attention to one thing at a time. Because you see, as it attacked Tanny, its chisel had missed George, and it just kind of let it go. It seemed to have been focused on just defense. There's not a whole lot of higher brain function happening there.
Do I know what this was?
It was a person at one point. Judging by the outfit, probably a minor. But also, you see that there's like a mine company like logo that's been painted onto it. Mine hasn't been in operation for years, and you had to break through a wall to get here. Maybe one of the old missing miners.
Simon, are you done with this?
I looked through the pockets. Hold on. I looked through the pockets.
I already went. I'm sorry. the head specifically.
Okay, well, those aren't pockets. So you, there is some...
Once they're done, I guess. I don't want to get my hands crushed.
Yeah.
Well, we already beat up the body, but you were looking at the head, and then I waited for you to be done, and then I...
So you are able to find pockets. As you kind of dig through the gristle and the bone that's been obliterated here by these two titans of industry in the other sense. You don't find a whole lot. There's no like wallet or anything. No rations or snacks of any kind. No one you recognize for sure. There's just not much. Just the... Like, he's just been down here for decades.
I'll like to say, I applaud you two for being able to recognize that this was a supernatural being and not just a lost miner.
Wait, this is supernatural?
I'm gonna turn to George and I'm gonna go.
Wait. I just thought this was a thief.
George.
Also,
Yeah.
what's in here? I'm gonna point to the little hole that they were digging.
If you...
Simon just takes a moment and goes...
Simon, horrified by the both of your reaction to like just immediately go towards deathly terminal violence.
Towards a perceived another human being.
Just stands in
dear.
shock as George thrusts his hand into
He
the
attacked
hole.
George.
It's true. They did get me while they were trying to get whatever they're getting in here.
I didn't see what happened before that.
You
but...
reach your hand
George, take your
forward
hand out. Oh,
and you just feel a blank rock. It's like you get scraped going in. It's not a like nice cleanly dug hole, but it's a hole.
George, take your hand out for a second.
But I'm almost at the end.
Simon, what was that?
Ugh.
So, do I have one of my drills with me?
Would you have taken one of your drills with you?
How big are they?
They're not small. Like, a Tommyknocker could carry it away, but it was kind of, like, comical.
Okay.
I've got the sledgehammer if we want to
Yeah, Tanny has a sledgehammer.
go through the wall. But
So
I want to know what that is.
I'll explain that it used to be, like, what I learned, that it used to be a miner, and through some supernatural reason has been risen and instructed to chisel through this. So it was looking for something. But yeah, let's perhaps finish what it was doing and see if we can find what it was looking for.
Did I feel any like space or hollowness there?
Just straight in.
I'm gonna turn and just say, I think this guy was just confused. He was trying to steal from the company and
George.
must have gotten turned around.
He points down. Does that look like it was a... When we look down, is it like...
Oh, it's flat
When,
and
Is it like
crushed.
Charged
when there was someone to look at, you were able to see the head, slack-jawed, decay had set in, not in like the traditional zombie sense, but the skin was gray, not just from mine dust. Skin was grayish. You saw like cuts that seemed not to bleed. Whatever it was appears to have been deceased. Even as a pulp, there was no spray. You don't see like a lot of arterial anywhere. You know, when there's a mining accident, blood is everywhere. And this thing kind of crumbled more like mincemeat, where it's just ground beef and the blood has been drained.
George, and I'm gonna grab your light from you and just say, look down, this person was dead a long time ago. There's not much blood.
I'm gonna take my sledgehammer. I'm gonna walk over to the hole in the wall, and I'm just gonna wind up and be like, there must be something over there. Like, he was looking for something, right? And I'm just gonna slam into the wall.
Might task of difficulty of task 3. So you gotta beat a 9.
Living on the edge.
Okay. I need to do 9, right? I have
So-
3.
You could spend 1. You still need 2 of your pool.
2, which is 1 difficulty, and I'm down to 1.
So if you're spending
No.
2 points of your pool, you have to hit a 6 or higher.
And I'm left with 1 if I had 3, right?
Yeah, because it costs 3 minus 2.
With you like swinging the hammer and there's literally blood gushing out of you because
Yes! 15! Let's fucking go!
burning the whole
So you ask for rolls for things, because sometimes you just want to know how much they fail. Tanny is solid rock,
Oh, fucking Christ.
so you are able to cause some damage here. It's a sledgehammer and it's a rock face with some damage in it. Some rocks break off. You get dust kind of falling from the area above. You cough a bit as it kind of like chokes down. You're all covered in dust and grime and bloodless viscera.
Coughing, I say.
And Tanny more bloody than the rest, by the way. Tanny has kind of blood coming from her ears. You see the beginnings of swelling start to occur. George seems a bit roughed up, like he might have a black eye later on, but looking a little bit better than Tanny.
Hold on.
So-
Before we go any further, I think you should take a moment to rest, and maybe I can help with that.
Oh, this is just a scratch. Mechanically, I treat the even in what's it called?
Tis but a flesh wound.
Whatever the step is below healthy, I treat as nothing, and then debilitated or whatever, I
Yeah.
treat as just the one above that. So,
Impaired.
yeah.
Even so, you should still take a rest, and
Well, I was gonna say, I hate to say it, but maybe we should go get Flo. This seems a little bit above our pay grade. I mean, this guy. I know that you think it's supernatural, but I think he was just stealing. And Flo's kind of in charge of all that.
yeah, I agree. But before we go further, let me just see if I can patch up those scratches. And I'm gonna use Charm Touch on the 2 of them, just to heal them a little bit. So this is on Tanny, and that's a success.
The way that you just froze, was especially.
Vincent, I just would drop them from, not kidding, an inch above the
Yeah,
cut.
I've been just going like that.
Is that 1?
Yeah, it was. Tanny, you restore 1 might. And George, you restore 4 might.
Hell
The one who didn't need it.
yeah. I mean, it's helpful for sure.
It sure is.
And by the way, you can also, do you know how to take a recovery roll?
I do indeed, but I don't
So,
need them.
you have
I'm
this
just,
thing
I'm
here.
just down 1 now. Oh.
You can take an action, which is, like a quick breath. You can
Catch your breath.
Catch your breath. So you can mark off
I'm listening.
the action and just roll a d6
Yeah.
and
Okay.
restore that much to your might.
And you can add your level.
So just cross off with pencil and roll a d6.
So you take a minute to patch up. You make your recovery rolls mechanically. And you make your ways back the way you came, with a 2-to-1 vote to go get Flo.
You restore +1. So 6 plus 1 is 7.
When we go back, would it be like an unseemly task to bring this garment with us from this old mining corporation, or is it thoroughly incorporated into the being?
Is when you say unseemly, like
the patch.
do you want to bring something that has very obviously been part of a deceased human, or do you want to bring a clean piece of cloth?
I just want to rip the patch off from the mining company.
It'll be bloodied for sure.
Well, that's fine.
Okay.
We found a dead dude.
Yeah.
You shouldn't show it to the other miners. We wouldn't want them to panic, so...
Why don't we
Trying to
give it to
hide it.
Simon to hang on to?
Okay, we'll give it to Simon.
I recognize at some
I
point.
just figured we could share that with Flo in case she understands the
Thanks.
symbol.
And I'm just gonna hedge magic the blood off.
Yeah. Standing uncomfortably close, watching.
Tanny and
Basically
George,
presentation,
in the dark, you see what was once a very bloody. It kind of looked like a red coverall. Suddenly becomes like a grayish color. Also kind of cleaner than maybe even your clothes.
Simon, can you do that to my clothes? Do I even need to wash them anymore? I could just have Simon magic them. Or you could teach me how to magic them so I could do it myself.
Simon, the outhouse must be so easy for you.
It's an interesting thought, George.
Let's head back.
So you all make your way back. Good lord.
I love how different of an experience this game has been
Between season 1 and season 2?
not just that, but also just my experience has been like, I'm an administrator. You guys are like, fuck this guy. Fuck you. Magic's everywhere.
This is what happens when you have a blue-collar job versus a white-collar job.
I'm really feeling the stratification here.
Listen, Flo, we can't worry about the practicalities of whether the deceased or the living.
What happens in the mines, stay in the mines.
Sometimes you're just very disconnected from reality.
Sometimes you just gotta make choices on the ground.
Sometimes you just gotta swing a sledgehammer.
Sometimes you just gotta kill a guy.
So you all make your way up.
On our way up, I'll head magic Tandy's clothes clean.
George, look! I think I
Tandy's
did
still
it!
bleeding from her ears, but like at least she's not dusty anymore, which is actually almost more suspicious. Because now she's clean, has bloody ears, and the two of you are covered in dust. And you've just come out of a mine shaft. What the fuck?
So I'm convinced that I did it somehow unthinkingly for myself, so I start poking myself in all the bloody places, thinking that somehow it's gonna work the same. And instead, all my fingers are
Don't give me the gift of deafening yourself.
Boink.
Anyway, you make it up to the surface. You, if you would like, can detach your rope from the ladder here. You can leave it whatever you like. But thanks to your chalk marks and the fact that you didn't go too far, it's relatively easy to find your way back.
Yeah, I'll discuss on the way that we should definitely find Flo and Alma and come back and maybe bring a drill and maybe see if we can find what that thing was looking for.
Yeah, let's go get Flo.
I was really hoping we could find out while we were down there.
Well, if we just go get Flo, we can go right back.
My sledgehammer didn't do anything.
As you step into the rail tunnel that you've all been building, you've made such progress that seeing the entrance now is kind of farther away. Light doesn't reach back here as well as it should. Lanterns are strung up along the way, and the concrete siding hasn't really reached this section. But looking ahead, you're alone in the tunnel. So maybe they're getting the fill, maybe they're working on something outside, but it's quiet.
Gainer?
I would like to...
Did we definitely go back
Mark.
the right way?
This was a rail tunnel.
Is there a sign for don't go further that miners use?
Yeah.
I'll make that sign because I don't want anyone else to go down there and get
For sure.
lost.
Routine task for you.
Yeah.
So you all start just kind of like looking around. No one's in the tunnel with you, and you look towards the entrance, and it seems like something's kind of covered it and kind of fallen over. Difficult to tell from this distance exactly what it is, but there's something kind of in the way. You can still get out, but there's something just covering it a bit.
Is it a bunch of plants?
Can I see the rock? The light rock?
Are you in front since you were last in line? In our where
No,
are
I'm
you in
behind.
relation to all the rest of
Must
us?
be
I'm,
Sorry.
prob-
You're
I'm
in the
probably
rail
leading
tunnel,
the way
so you
back.
can clump in the rail tunnel.
Oh, okay. It's not like a string.
Right.
Okay.
And I'll toss the
The rail
rock
tunnel's
down,
15 feet wide.
the lit rock down the obstruction to see if it looks green.
So you get about like halfway down the tunnel. You toss the rock, and as you toss, you're also halfway down. So you see vines have started to grow across the walls of the entrance. Moss is starting to creep in and lichen, and in front you see what looks like a rotten log has kind of like fallen. It makes it difficult to get out in the way that you have to lift your leg a bit, but you can still get out.
How long were we down there?
Not too long.
You can still see peaks of daylight outside.
But the moss grew so fast.
Maybe it rained while we were gone.
I've noticed before there's something odd with the vegetation in this area.
What do you mean odd?
I don't know.
Well, Simon, you're supposed to know. If you don't know, who does know?
I'll rough through the stuff.
I look towards you.
I'll take
I'm like,
this fallen log and I'll kind of haul it out of the way.
Yeah, I would say let's not bother with a roll there. It's old. It's light. You can move it out of the way just fine. And when you get outside, everyone give me a perception check. Give me 1 second to give you the difficulty. You all have
one.
heck yeah.
that. I love that for me.
With advantage?
Oh, right. This is what combat does. Natural 3.
I also love that it hopped out of your cup into a separate dice tray.
Let's work out these.
So you rolled a
Smart,
3. It's a
smart.
level 4 difficulty.
I expended a level of effort and I succeeded.
Great.
Clearly.
I got a 13.
You also succeed. And I would love for you as well, Flo, to preemptively give me one. Level 4.
Perception?
Mhm.
Oh, I'm trained.
I'm perception hindered.
Yeah, where were
then
you while
do
we've been
not make it.
proceeding?
11. So, success, because I'm trained.
Very nice.
Great question.
Has to make so many perception checks about you. Hello, please.
So as you all like kind of walk about the camp, it's eerily quiet. This has been a bustling place, and now you look around and the other miners are gone. No children running around. No sounds of Marcy yelling. No spoon clicking from Werner. But you see a little boy at the campfire edge. It's Elias. If you all remember, Marcy has 2 children. Elias is an orphan. And Elias just kind of sits there. He's got a little stick that he's kind of poked into the fire a little bit, playing with it. And Simon, kind of standing in the brush behind him.
Oh, it's so cool.
You can put that by the fireplace.
Hey, Elias. What you poking at? Because I don't see this.
Unfortunate.
And it doesn't really make a move when George runs forward. But you do hear little huffs and chuffs. The trees have grown thick. They've encroached upon your campsite. cabin that George built is surrounded by trees now. The tent and the campfire, the only things not completely invaded by trees, but fully surrounded indeed. And Flo, it's right about this time that you arrive back on the scene, trundling up in the truck. You hop out, put the keys back in the front seat where you've been leaving them, and as you walk up, you also hear nothing but the sounds of the forest, shuffling in leaves as you hear the sound of George saying, "Hey, Elias!" And you look up and you see this beast. A face of an old skull, picked clean, bits of wood and vine and antler horn all tied together, with the smell of rot. And George, you rush over to Elias and you see this little boy look up at you.
Hey, have you seen everybody? It's really quiet here and kind of spooky.
Hey, look, Flo's back.
So
Oh, hey, Flo. Hey, one second, Elias. Flo.
while George runs forward,
Yeah.
I want to do something, but go ahead.
No, I'm just going over and be like, hey, Flo, we found this guy. Well, I'll look around. Do I see anybody looking at us?
No, just a kind of Elias kind of looking around.
Okay. Flo, we found a guy in the mines and he was stealing from us, but don't worry. We took care of him.
He was wearing this weird patch.
Oh, yeah, Simon, show her the patch.
I turned you.
Yes.
My head's
creature
going
moved?
to the thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm looking at the others to see who else notices it's there.
It's just staying in the brush and the shadow, but its head seems to be following. It has no eyes, but the skull seems to be watching you.
So, I'm like looking past George directly at the creature. I'm just like, there appears to be something looking at us.
Oh, that's Elias. You haven't met him yet? You really should get away from the maps a little bit, Flo. There's all kinds of people here.
Yes. Yes, there are. And then Flo's gonna like crane her head a little bit, trying to keep it within her eye line, but see who else the fuck is here. And so I just see these guys, no one else, and Elias. Okay.
I'm going to turn and be like, oh, no, Simon made Tanny look like that.
Yeah, I'm all clean. Do you see my well, except for the blood,
I
but
can
like,
see you look a little freaked out by Tanny.
George,
I think I did
why
it.
don't you grab Elias and put him in the cabin for a moment while
Alright.
we try to figure out where everyone is going?
Oh, well, Elias knows. Hang on, I'll go get him. And I'll turn around, I'll go grab this child, and just kind of lead him over by the hand to the group.
He doesn't. He kind of pulls back a little bit.
What? What's wrong?
I want to stay here with Everett.
With Everett? It's just you here, buddy. But it's okay. Just come with us, and I'll turn and I'll look.
And you see it. You don't know how you missed it. It's huge. A big thing of vine and bark, and its skull kind of sticking out from under the leaves.
I'm gonna reach out to George and just kind of like pull his clothing.
And George, you've had special friends before. You've had a corn man. Go ahead and give me an intellect check around, I guess, the understanding of magic.
It's a non-combat task.
It's a non-combat
But I
task
do-
right now.
Right now.
So there's two things I want to do
I do
quickly
feel
while all that was
Yeah, while that's happening.
Yeah, so I want to use Charm Touch again on
Natural 20.
Tandy, and I want to take a recovery action roll.
What am I doing?
You
I'm
are
regretting not taking
healing
that
4
recovery.
might.
You can just keep that one. This
Tanny.
one for me, one for...
Tanny's healing 4 might.
I think that's back to almost full.
George. Your friend liked to play tricks, and sometimes they were fun, and you got to experience little adventures as you hid off in the corn from other people. You got to surprise some of your fellow like friends in the corn. You got lost one day in the corn, and your friend showed you a great hiding spot where you got to camp out for days. Your mom got real mad at you, and it was funny, but also a little sad because you made your mama mad. But you were just out with a friend. These things... This thing feels different. It doesn't like you. It likes Elias. Maybe this is Elias's special friend. And he might be safe with him. You might not be safe with him. And you get the feeling that if you try and make Elias do something he doesn't want to do, Everett will step in.
I'll kneel down, I'll let go of Elias's hand, and I'll kneel down and I'll say, all right, Elias, look, you're going to have a great time. When you're ready to come home, just make sure that you're safe, okay? And I'll hand him a little piece of chalk to make sure that he's able to get home wherever he goes.
Very nice. And
And I'll
thank you for
stand up
giving
and
that
I'll
back
look
to
at their
me.
special friend. And I'll just kind of give a respectful nod. And I'll turn around and go back to my group.
I'm going to.
Was there something else you wanted to do, or did you get to do both?
I took a recovery roll, but I also am. When you asked did you ask Elias where is everyone? I might have missed that.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Oh no,
You
did
didn't.
I ask that? No, I
You
did
asked
not.
if
You
he knew.
did?
I asked if he knew. He said yes.
As you turn away from Elias, I'm gonna walk up to Elias and ask him, Elias, where is everyone?
They're gone.
Where did they go?
They went with the trees. And with that, this is a great place to step away from for a break. We'll be back in 10 minutes. See you soon. Hello and welcome back to this session 3 of Iron and Thorn Broken Throne. If you stuck with us through the break, welcome back. If you didn't, you're here now, and that's great. You're just in time. Everyone else is gone. And before you at the fire, you have Elias and, at least according to George, his good buddy Everett. You've attempted to lead Elias away, but Elias wants to stay behind at the fire. And the rest of you, Tanny has finally seen the threat. George has seen the threat. The two of you spotted it right away. What are you all doing?
I think at this point, Flo, how far away is the car?
So far. So
Probably like right here, right?
That's where
This
the
is
car
where
parks,
it's
yeah.
usually
Normally
parked.
parks, yeah. Okay. So I think Flo would start like just keeping an eye on the creature, would just kind of back up towards the cabin. And as she's backing up, she's gonna just kind of try to like start looking around a little bit more. Like everyone's gone as far as we can tell. If the creature doesn't move as she starts to back up, she'll break eye contact with it and start like looking at the ground to try to figure out like, are there any traces of what happened? Like, is there signs of a scuffle, or is it all just clean?
go ahead and give me a perception. So that's an intellect check. Got a fun thing. It's gonna be a 6.
Ooh, that's-
Little 6.
Okay.
Spend those points, baby.
Was
No.
it 17 and up?
It's 18 and up.
Alright, so it's a use once because I have training in perception related tasks. And then no, I just took something, but it's for it's curious. An area rarely or never visited before. I don't think that counts.
That does not count here.
So I was reading it just to be like, just to make sure. Okay.
Unfortunately, you visited quite a few places
Yes.
over the last week.
Um.
Our explorer's back in the party, baby.
Ooh, okay. So unfortunately, the other things I would need to do beforehand. So, instead of right now. And that's for exploring. Okay.
You check.
I could, yeah, but 4. So I see nothing. I'm too distracted by the
thing.
The thing.
The thing
Yeah.
you're trying not to see.
Yes.
Elias, is that your friend Everett? I'm gonna turn towards the creature, and then turn back to Elias.
He's everyone's friend.
Is he with the trees?
No, he's right here.
Do I recognize what this thing is?
Go ahead and give me a level 4 around the understanding of magic.
Before you do that, I will lean in and I'll just say, Simon, this is a corn man. It's something that is sort of a mischievous spirit. And Elias told me, and Elias, correct me if I'm wrong, but told me that Everett sort of is keeping him safe and everybody else left with the trees. Do you know what that might mean? What the trees might be? I mean, aside from these?
And your task is eased by 1.
All right, I'm gonna spend 2 levels of effort, but I have an inability, so I think that we'll bring that down to a 2 from 4. Please. 14.
Very nice.
Just gotta ask, please.
So with the assistance from George, as he describes this corn man, a friend he's told you about before, and you recognized from George's tales a Shuck. You've not encountered something like this before, of this size, this magnitude, and you feel it. This power. It feels like the green, but not. Something is wrong with it. Sick feels like the right word. And as you think about that, you get a scent of smoke in your nose. hear a quiet howl on the wind.
Oh no.
This thing is of the green, but not. Changed and corrupted. It's somewhere in between. It's not hurting the little boy. So whatever George is saying sounds accurate. That Elias is friends in communion with this thing, which gets you thinking a little bit further. Of all the people you've met here in this mining effort,
Well, one for someone else?
one for someone else, you've
Got one.
you've met Dale and Elizabeth, also known as Liza Beth, Collins, Gaynor and Marcy's children. Marcy is the only, aside from Tanny, Alma, and Flo, the only other woman present. No one else came up with their families, it seems. Elias is an orphan boy. Everett mentioned they went back for the winter, and that work had stopped. Where did Elias come from? A little orphan boy, 5 years old, here with no one else, in the middle of nowhere. And as you look at him, and his eyes, dark green, turn to you,
Elias's eyes?
you feel him look back. He may not know, being so young, but he has been claimed. He is a thing of the green. And the four of you are the only humans left in this place. What are y'all doing?
So, Miss Flo, we found this guy, and he wasn't quite right, but he was trying to steal from the company. So, I mean, me and Danny, we took care of him. But maybe you should come and take a look at the mines because there's something weird going on there.
I
wouldn't do that.
noticed.
Oh, why not?
You shouldn't be in there.
How come?
It's not allowed.
By who?
Trees.
Simon, what does that mean?
Trees.
Elias, would you be able to show us where everybody else went?
You don't want to go there.
Are they coming back?
No.
Are they okay?
I think so.
Why don't we want to go there?
Because you don't want to be with the trees.
Is it not safe?
Trees mad. You have to stop digging.
Is that why they're mad?
You're gonna let it out. You're not supposed to let it out.
What is it?
I don't know.
Do the trees tell you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You hear a low growl as you watch Elias's face kind of crumble as the interrogation continues and he starts talking about things he's not comfortable with.
You are all remarkably calm considering what's happening here. Seeing as we are still alive, what is going on?
In what
I
sense of
believe
the word?
that there is something supernatural in these lands, and it sounds like let's say, the spirits of the forest. Do I know what the green is?
Mhm.
The green is what they're known. Elias is saying that they've claimed the others in the camp, and the green is the reason you can see the overgrowth in this area.
Elias, would you be able to take us to everybody else?
You don't want to go there.
Okay, well,
I'm worried about everybody else.
I don't think that we should make Elias do anything, because his friend may protect him. And he, like, does this towards the thing.
But I am preoccupied with the threat and Elias's safety and the whereabouts of everybody else.
Did you just say that? Or was that what you're thinking, or you just said
That's
that?
what I'm thinking.
Oh, okay.
Well,
What are you saying?
I said the last thing I said was I'm worried about everybody else.
well, why?
I might have something that'll help us find them without Elias leading us.
Elias said they might not be safe. The people who went with the trees.
okay.
I don't know what that means, but if they're not safe.
Alas, what does that mean?
Well, just the trees mad. And an intellect level 4 around insight to kind of parse what this child is saying.
Nope.
11.
11.
And how's your insight
Minus, I'm impaired.
impaired? All right.
Yeah.
So that's a no from everybody.
Even without any additional information, can I just kind of say, well, look, Elias, we don't want to take anything. We're just trying to move on through. But maybe there are people who are trying to do that. It's not any of the people that are missing, though.
You can't move through. You'll let it out.
Well, can we go around?
And he thinks about that and he doesn't quite understand. What? You can't dig.
Okay. Well, we don't want to let anything out. And we're going to fill that hole that we made in. I hope they know that. But that has nothing to do with those people. They didn't even dig that hole.
You dug the hole. And,
Yeah.
And they helped dig the hole. They keep digging and digging. The trees keep taking the food and the things, and you keep digging. It's gonna take people again and again. It took people last time. It took Floyd. He was very mad.
It took who?
Floyd.
This has happened before?
Have we heard that name before?
You have. And Flo has seen the name often
It's
on
like
all the maps and
previous
papers in the
site
site
person.
manager's office.
Yeah.
Oh, was that the previous site manager?
The one who apparently just ran off.
Well,
Elias, what happened to Floyd?
I don't want to talk about it. And you hear branches begin to creak
well,
as things move. And birds erupt from nearby
Oh, I fucked up.
as this thing kind of looks closer and leans in. You can move it one step closer to the fire there.
I think we have two choices.
Can I keep talking for a second?
Go ahead.
So I'm gonna look at Elias. I'm gonna take a step back, and I'm gonna say, I'm trying to be careful with my words.
You see little tears kind of well up in this child's eyes.
I'm gonna say, what are you gonna do for the rest of today, Elias? Are you gonna hang out with your friend?
That's what I want to do. It's better here.
Okay. Would that make you happy? Okay. Why don't we give you a little bit of space so you can hang out with your friend, okay? And we will... We'll talk and see what we can do about the digging, okay? Okay.
You gonna stop?
I don't make a lot of the decisions here, so let me see if I can talk to the people and see what we can do, okay? I'm gonna do my best.
Kind of looks over at Flo,
Yeah, I think all of us kind of are looking over at Flo.
and he begins kind of poking the fire a little bit more.
So I'm gonna turn to everybody. I don't know where we are situated, but I'm just gonna say, like,
Here.
I'm concerned about where everybody went, but it mostly, I think I started to provoke the thing, and I thought maybe if Elias felt safe, maybe we would have some time to discuss whatever is happening. So maybe we should just leave Elias be for a little bit while he's with his friend.
His friend is of the green, but there's something off about him. Seems corrupt in a way. But I feel like the most pressing thing is that our friends are missing. And I might have something that can help us find them.
How much room is there in the cabin?
There's
Behind us?
plenty of room for all of you. It's about as big as you can see there.
Why don't we step inside? And Flo's gonna still keeping her eyes towards the creature, open the door.
Oh,
I
in,
kind of
in this
push it.
place we've never been before?
Have we? Wait, what?
What?
Go
Go ahead
inside
and
the cabin.
Go ahead and give me. Let's do some competing rolls. Unless
Have
you
you not
would
been in
you
the
would
cabin?
just like to take that at face value.
We broke into
No.
the cabin last
Very
session.
clearly,
It's
someone
gone.
has been inside the
Oh,
cabin.
oh, your cabin.
My cabin.
Or the cabin we built.
No roll
No,
required.
no,
My cabin.
No roll required. It's George.
Yeah. Get inside the cabin.
Okay, but just to be clear, I didn't knock that chair over. It was over when I came
Get inside
Yes, ma'am.
the cabin.
in. I might borrow inside. This is the first time today that George has been scared.
this is the thing.
Yeah.
Everyone get in the cabin. Is everyone in the cabin?
Yes.
Does the cabin have a keyhole?
Yes.
Sure do. And the fact that Tanny answered so fast should tell you something.
I
I'm going to close the doors of the cabin.
don't know what we're talking about.
And I'm going to take the pass key that I have. I will whisper to it the reason why I'm here. And then lock the door.
All right. And
Can I
for
hear that?
everybody,
I was gonna say.
what's the passkey do?
So the pass key is
What do you whisper?
I whisper a secret to the key. It will lock or unlock any one door, portal, chest, or other lockable item in cipher level or lower. For the cipher level, target item must have a keyhole. So it just locks the door.
Can I hear?
What do you whisper?
I whisper the amount of money that is represented by the ticket in my pocket.
Very nice.
Can we
$17.
roll to hear that?
We'll have to do competing rolls. We'll do a stealth for you, and the rest of you, it's an intellect perception.
Non-combat?
I don't know. This is PvP, man.
Oh boy, I don't hear it.
Natural 20.
Good God, man. You just hear Flo say a series of numbers.
18.
Yeah, I think you're the only one that hears. You just hear Flo say a series of numbers. It's a pretty big number.
Anything bigger than 2 is a big number.
Anything bigger than 2 is indeed a big number.
All right. So we have problems. We have several missing people, it looks like, and apparently some ungodly creature outside. What to do?
I think we should find the people.
Agreed.
So, small problem with that. When I left the other day to look around, I was doing a survey of the local area. From my point of view, I was only gone for the day. Came back to the car. I'd been gone for 2.5 days. So traveling around here is going to be complex. Furthermore, the north side of the mountain, which I'm assuming, judging by the context clues we have here, is where everything is gone. And probably the source of whatever the heck's going on. There is something that doesn't want us to go north. I'm assuming whatever it is outside there is part of that something.
Did it seem like the trees were coming more from the north as they encroach? Or is it just all around encroaching?
The north side is from where you are, if you look at your map. So it's directly on the opposite side of that mountain. That is where Flo is gesturing. Yeah, the
This is
northeast
north?
side. So you are on the northwest side.
Okay.
Then Flo is gesturing towards the northeast.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point, I think I would pull out a map and then see all my maps out of order.
No, they're in order.
They're
They
in
were out of order before.
No, before we got in here just now.
Seems like everyone's been in your cabin.
There's a thing up there that says, if you look on the wall.
As you look up, indeed, there is a note on the wall about how we looked at these things. We're sorry.
We found something signed SL. Come find
I
us.
will take the map out of the local area, not the mine, but the one I did of the surveyed area, and point at my survey notes. And
Wow,
point
Flo, can you explain this map to us that we're seeing for the first time?
This one, actually, Tanny, you are seeing for the first time.
This is
Exactly.
So, Flo will kind of trace her finger along the path that she took, and where she marked where the path diverged, and where she chose to not go further, she'd be like, this is where I ran into an issue. And so I would assume, so it would be like right around here, probably. This is going to be where they were headed. The forest is relatively normal, up until about there. There are issues with traveling, so we're going to have to be careful. Also, we're going to have to make sure we bring plenty of supplies. Thankfully, I just negotiated for some supplies in the truck. Flo's going to think about what's in the truck. It's like, what, 2 bottles of sherry and a bunch of raw game?
Yep.
How are we doing on oil?
Oh, pretty poorly.
How are we doing on oil?
Pretty poorly.
Does anyone have flint and steel?
For what?
No. But there is an abandoned mine we found beneath this place and underneath the actual mountain. I bet there's flint and steel in there.
What do we need flint and steel for?
To light a fire?
Why would we need to light a fire? That's dangerous.
Oh, I have matches.
Excellent. So,
Simon. Magic words. Flo wants to light a fire. You hear once more a panting in your ear and the smell of smoke.
Before we go any further, I can't stay in these camp for too much longer. There is something following me, and it might have found me.
Is it the
What
big
is-
thing
No.
outside?
No, that's the corn man.
It's something different.
I don't think that man is made of corn.
It's not about him being made of corn. It's about what he stands for. What kind of thing is following you?
What, isn't the corn man supposed to be friendly?
I don't think I have time to explain it, but if you see fire or hear howling, then you should run.
That's generally what I do when I see or hear either of those things.
Haven't we
Good.
been hearing a lot of that lately?
No, not really.
All right.
I thought we heard some of that earlier. Or only he's hearing that.
And I'm sorry to bring this blight to us, but we should make haste and find our friends. And I do have, and he takes out, like, let's see. He takes out this Chinese coin that he has that has the square in the middle on a piece of string. I can use this to help find our friends, but I need to know a secret about them. I know Alma's probably with them, and you've been with Alma. Do you know anything about Alma that she wouldn't tell anyone else?
Do I?
You know one of Alma's deep-seated fears.
Is this something I'm supposed to know?
You know that Alma has a very deep-seated fear of rejection.
Oh,
It's
wait.
part of why she stopped being in show business so
I
much.
think I...
Okay.
So, do you say anything?
What's the last thing you said again?
Do you know of any of her secrets? You don't have to tell me, but it looks like you do.
I might.
That's okay. You don't need to tell me, but when the time comes, I'm gonna hand you the plumb bob. If you whisper it to this, it will point in the direction of her for about short of an hour. So maybe we should either use it now, or maybe get closer to any points on this on the map and use it then, but that might be our best chance of finding our friends, and we should make haste.
I can use magic.
Yes, and only you, because you know Alma best.
George, I've done it.
George, I have something for you too.
Okay.
When it comes time for you to protect us, put this around your neck and hopefully it'll protect you as well.
Flo,
Mm-hmm.
you're about to say something.
Mm-hmm. You were in the mine earlier? You said you discovered more of it?
Yes. I'm not really as good as mapping as you are, Flo, but we found... do you know what tummy knockers are?
So, I leveled up on the way here, and tier 2 ability of Know the Unknowable is your trait of names, habits, suspect layers, or related topics regarding the magical and natural creatures of your world. But I have an inability towards magic and the knowing of magic. Do they cancel each other out?
Who levels out? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now I just have...
You roll flat.
I roll flat. Okay.
Level 3. From a lower height.
A different one. 15.
Nice.
Damn. I'm so sorry about your rolls, just in general.
Yeah.
But, yes. You've heard of Tommy knockers, but you're not entirely sure why you've heard of Tommy knockers. It's kind of one of those things you just don't pay attention to. Some silly superstition about little guys who live in mines and, like, don't like to be seen, but and you notice that sometimes the union guys wouldn't go into the mines unless they said the Tommy knockers were on duty, and you had to like do this weird like, yes, they're fine, they're here, they're working.
Yes, but the weird little elf things?
Yes. What you may have heard from other miners talk about, they're real and we found their caves. I can show... And I did a really crude map here, but...
Flo will look at the map. How bad is it?
Did we roll for this map, or did you make it as you were going through the mines?
I didn't make it as I was going through the mines. I just kind of like next to like the map of the mines, I just drew like some lines.
That's right. We
like
did.
One
we did
out
have
of
you roll for it.
one out of the camper thing, and
It's crude, but it makes a certain kind of sense. I
Okay.
will say with your
Okay.
ability and your training. It's certainly not worse than some of the other strangeness where people seem to have gotten deep into these tunnels.
Okay. All right. Great. All right. assuming.
And
that will-
today,
Mhm.
we broke through a tunnel. As we were building our tunnel, we broke through to what seemed to be the old abandoned mine shaft.
That's something. All right. So, judging by what we've heard thus far, we can assume that the trees wouldn't take people deeper into the mines. They don't want people in there. If we're trusting the word of a 5-year-old with a creature behind him.
I don't know if you all saw, but the eyes of Elias seem to have marked that the green has claimed him. And I don't really know what that means for his future.
Great. So we can leave the child here.
Is it contagious?
It doesn't really quite work that way.
Okay.
Okay.
Is he safe?
I don't think that's our problem anymore.
When I say that, if we can,
You know, safe is relative.
if we continue to stay here, the green may also claim us as well, but it won't be from Elias. It will be from the green itself. As you can see there, influence is encroaching and trying to ward us off.
All right. Well, anyone have any better ideas?
No. Almost never.
All right. So,
How long did it take for you to drive here?
it took about, I think, half a day to get close to the area that I was trying to get to. And then it took another couple hours to do a loop around in that area. But when I came back, 2 days had gone. From my perspective, it had only been a day. So, unclear. But what we can do is that we can take the resources that we have, put them in the truck, go as far as we can, and see if we can find any trace of anyone. Because we certainly can't run a camp with just the 4 of us. And there's at least 2 missing children. How many children were here?
3, and 2 of them are missing.
2 missing children. So,
Do you guys hear that?
No.
Do I hear something? Like actually something?
Yeah, you hear things shuffling around out there.
I'm going to go get the drills and I'll load them in the truck. And if there's anything else we need, then just let me know. But otherwise, we basically ran out of supplies while you were gone. So
great.
pretty much packed and ready to go.
Oh, and we found the reason why supplies went missing.
Mm.
It was the Tommy knockers, but we believe that
Simon, you say that. Then you remember something Elias said. We've been taking the food. And you think back to when the Tommyknockers took your drill. And sure, some of the food that you've been leaving on the Tommyknocker shelf has gone missing, as you expected. When the Tommyknockers were taking the drills into the cave, you saw the overgrowth of vines. You had built something that improved your speed and your progress on the stake. And the green couldn't have that. You get the sense now, with this new information, the Tommyknockers were trying to protect a cool digging tool.
we're trying to what?
Protect your cool digging tool.
So the Tommyknockers are on our side, kind of.
Or at least they might be trying to release something.
We thought the Tommyknockers were taking our supplies, but after speaking with Elias, it sounds like it's been the green.
Okay. I'm just going to put aside how incredulous this all sounds when we say it out loud for today. Let's take what we do have, resource-wise. If we have any regular axes, that would probably be good.
What do we need axes for?
We're going to the forest. There are trees there.
If we hurt the trees, won't they hurt the people?
We will need to pass through at some point, so it's more of a just-in-case sort of situation here. Any food that you can find, I have some in the truck. And I have my camp stove, so we won't be completely screwed. Water, that sort of thing.
I'll go gather whatever we can, load it into the car.
Same.
Sure thing.
Is the creature
I
still
make
out
sure to
there?
grab my tool bag.
The creature is indeed still out there. It takes you a minute. Because as you step outside the door, trees have gotten closer. You see now that there's brush and bush that have grown and encircled Elias and this campfire and a cozy little nest. And you see Everett, as he is known, amongst the trees. And would Flo think about that? About Everett?
What do you mean?
Elias called the creature Everett.
Yeah,
Whose truck have you been driving?
Everett's.
Did you follow that thread?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna like look at Everett and be like, I was gonna bring you Sherry as an apology for borrowing the truck so much. And I'm gonna see if any reaction from it.
And you see it shoulders a log
Mm-hmm.
and just starts walking towards the mine entrance. Drops it in front.
Listen,
Whatever this Everett is, doesn't seem to be quite as friendly towards you as good old Everett.
She's gonna look at Elias and be like, "Is this the same Everett, or is this just a...
He's our friend.
Okay?"
All right.
That truck has been here a long time. It's an old one. It's not new. It's held together with duct tape and heart.
I slam the door, sitting in the back.
All right, let's go.
Should we use the plumb bob now or when we get closer?
I don't know what that is.
It's the item I gave you to help us.
Are we looking for Alma now or?
I think we wait until later.
It is. I don't know. Are we on our way to explore the north side of the mountain? Are we trying to find Alma?
We're trying to find
We're trying to.
people.
Yeah, we're trying to find the people.
Okay.
Presumably who Alma is probably with.
So
We can either use that thing now and it'll tell which direction they're in, but it only will last 50 minutes when we use it. So
isn't the
if we-
drive gonna be potentially like a day or two?
yeah, but the thing is, like, we could be driving towards this location and they may not be in this location, in which case we're now farther away from finding them. So
It's only directional, right? It's not like
yes, it's directional.
yeah.
Okay. So first thing I'm gonna do before, so we leave Flo's cabin, right? I'm gonna use one of my items. I'm gonna dig a hole. Let's say in an open area, not near a tree, just kind of an open space. I'm gonna dig a hole and I'm gonna take out. I guess I've been having it in my backpack, or maybe it was in my tent. But I get my canary box, and I put it in the hole, and I cover it, and I put 3 stones on top of it. So the canary box is a small wooden box filled with bones and feathers of a canary who died protecting the miners. Bury the box and cover it with 3 large stones while saying words of thanks. For the next day, the canary spirit tips you off, easing your tasks and sensing danger and initiative. So as I put the stones on top, I'm going to say, thank you for protecting us. Thank you for letting us know where the danger is. And I'm just going to put the stones on top and make sure it's nice and flat. And then I guess I'm going to take the, what is it called? The
Plumb bob?
plum
You can call it a coin on a string.
Plumb bob.
blub?
Plumb bob.
Plum
Coin on a string.
Coin on a string.
Coin on a
I'm
string.
going to take my fancy coin on a string. I'm going to look around. And then I'm going to like really sketchily kind of whisper into it and go, flawless. Alma. Oh, damn it.
mean, you might. I don't know. Is that a secret? Do you know a secret about Blue?
I was looking where Hannah sits, and my brain was like, blah.
It's confusing. Everyone's fine.
Alma worries about rejection. It's why she left showbiz or something like that about the movies, I think. And then I'm gonna rub it in my hands. I don't know why.
It helps magic.
I'm gonna poke it a couple of times, thinking that maybe that'll help it glow. It's not working, and then
Simon makes a little like motion of just like let it fall, and you hold and
It's like a pendulum.
you grab the string in your hand and you drop the coin, and as you hold the string up, the coin begins to swing back and forth, and then it points a distance in the northeast from you.
All right, Flo, follow that coin.
Let's go, girl! Timmy's in the well!
All right. So, actually, before we leave, Flo's gonna go back in her office room and grab more mapping supplies. And while she's grabbing mapping supplies, she'll grab one of the updated copies of the map that she has. Because she has a feeling that they're not going to be here when she gets back.
can I do a
definitely grab my
recovery
bag.
roll?
For sure.
Okay. I don't really need to, but I'm just missing 1 point, so I don't need to like roll. I don't.
With
think.
0 belongings, I have all my belongings on me already.
I just make sure to grab my bag of tools.
All right.
We all have our stuff, right?
Mhm.
We're pretending like we're kind of leaving and not coming back, right?
Pretty
Assuming.
much, yeah.
So I'm just gonna throw all my shit in the truck, just assuming that I might need something, including the sledgehammer.
I sit.
Grab all my
Back of
stuff
the
if
truck.
you can remember.
I'm
You can-
grabbing all my stuff.
There's an empty front seat now.
I sit purposely in the back of the truck with the game.
Flo would make sure that we have all of our like main supplies, including any digging tools, if we can fit them. If we can't fit them, she'll leave them, but she'll try to get them in there. But also want to make sure we grab Alma's stuff and not just leave them
Oh,
here.
good call.
Very nice.
So,
Flo, you begin to like hop up into the truck cab, but then realize you're gonna be searching for Alma, and you grab her items from the tent that she was in, cabin. As Tawny directs you away from the tent and towards the nicely built cabin in the woods.
It's just like it's more and more obscured.
And you grab her things, put them in the truck, and you all head off down the road. You follow the road as much as you can, the road being, a word for it.
Suggestion.
Indeed. And as you drive down, you follow this trail and you come to the section where you can either head further up along the river there or head back towards the hunting club.
Head towards the northeast unless anyone. So it's
I'm
further up the
sitting in
river.
the trunk bed, just chilling.
Flo,
I'm just looking out the window.
Hey, you're in the passenger
the
seat.
trees are back.
No.
The trees are back.
The trees are back. You can go slower with the truck, but eventually the trees will become too thick, and you will need to get out and
Yeah.
walk.
So I'll take the truck as far as we can, just to save energy, if nothing else.
While we're in the truck and driving, I'm going to. Is the game butchered? Or is it like still whole?
No, it's butchered.
Okay, but it's uncooked?
Uncooked, wrapped in paper, ready for being used in meals.
Okay, so by the time we get there, all the meat will be cooked and prepared. Weird. Hedge magic.
Weird.
Simon just has a little charcoal grill.
Flo, you're just driving along.
furiously
You're
cooking.
very focused on the road, but all of a sudden, steak.
What's going on? Quail.
We're
Hedge
just
magic
having a
can
barbecue.
not create food, but it can prepare food.
Damn, I want hedge magic.
Damn.
Multiple things. Even just doing the laundry, like, hell yeah.
Flo, go ahead and give me Ooh, what do we want to make this? It's not really intelligence quite yet. We're gonna go with speed
Okay.
around your handling of a truck. So your maneuverability, driving, reflexes, that kind of thing. Anything you have for that. Land vehicle proficiency, not a thing in this game, but you know.
Let's see. So I have.
While we're in the truck, can we make recovery rolls? How long are we in the truck?
You would be in the truck for maybe about 40 minutes.
Okay.
All right, I'll spend
So
a
far.
level of effort. On
I'm gonna
this.
use my action recovery roll.
Flo is driving slower than she was on the road as she maneuvers around these trees.
And then I'm trying to see if there's anything else in here. The only other really thing I have is find the way, which I'm not sure really works. Would find the way work for this?
Well, go ahead and read it.
So hang on. So find the way is. Gotta scroll. Wait, did I write in here? Because
Maybe use this one.
so the search function just fucking fails on this. Unfortunately, I had it written out on my other paper, but my other paper is just like crooked now, and so it makes things a little bit challenging to read.
Love
So
technology.
find the way is when you apply an effort to navigation tasks because you don't know the way or lost or attempting to place a new route. You need to choose to do more. Otherwise, similar paths or something very similar. You can apply a free level of effort.
Yeah, level
Okay.
5.
All right. So I'll spend a level 2 of speed. Spend that.
Is it used at all using the plumb bob?
No, this is mostly dodging around trees and finding a pathway through. She knows
Gotcha.
the direction she's heading in. She's not trying to find a new
Gotcha.
direction.
Yeah. So it was a 6.
It is a 5.
It's a 5.
It's now a 4.
4 and a 3 because I also was spending. Okay. So I need to be 9.
What'd you get, buddy? Buddy,
That's really upsetting.
what'd you get?
An 8.
Okay.
I rolled an 8.
That's better than a 1.
It's better than a 1, but it's really annoying.
Yeah.
You have any experience?
I just spent it all.
Oh. In the car ride over.
I did.
Flo, as you're
Great
driving,
driver, Flo.
as you're driving along, trying to find a way around these trees, you get to a point where they are just too close together.
Yeah.
It's overgrown. You know you were here before. You're not lost. It's not that you're lost. It's just that the truck can't push through, and you don't see a way through.
Yeah. Okay.
This might be where you all have to continue on foot. And for those of you following along on your little regional maps, just a little bit more, a little bit more. Yeah, there you go, right there. And where Vincent has carefully placed that X is where the direction the plumb bob seems to be pointing.
Okay. Dope. All right. So we're gonna get out here, and all right. Unfortunately, it looks like the trees are really, really annoying today. So we're gonna have to walk from here. Take what you can. Prioritize food and water. Flo's gonna like put food, water, and her mapping materials in her backpack. And if she's gonna assess everything and just be like, if we split up almost things, we'll probably all be able to carry them.
I don't have anything myself. I could just carry on my stuff.
You do that. Okay. All
Whoa.
right.
Yeah, there's just randomly a
Wait, is
rifle
this loaded?
case. Quick lesson on gun safety, Tanny.
Could
So
we have-
George,
Could we have advanced during the car ride?
We'll advance after the session today.
Sounds good.
do we need any guidance through the trees and the forest on our way?
Couldn't hurt.
It'll certainly help. I do have a compass and I am all right at pathfinding through the area, but if you know of anything that could help, it's a bit challenging today.
I take my Frankenstein movie ticket out of my pocket. I don't think you were here for this.
No, she was not.
I was not.
So, by spending a level of effort, where does that come out of?
So this would be in your one of your pools.
I guess let's do my speed pool because I have 4, so I'll go down at 3. Is that how that works? Okay.
So 1 level of effort minus your edge. So you have a speed pool.
Speed pool is 4
That's low. No, your speed.
plus 4. Speed pool.
Oh, I get the. I see what's going on. Your speed pool is 13.
Oh, I think so. That's what I added to. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Still
So
getting.
13 minus 3 minus edge.
So it's minus
Plus edge. 13 minus 3 plus edge. So how do you have an edge and speed?
I do have 1, so it's
So
minus
minus
2. So 11.
I said math in weird ways.
So we got there.
It's funny, I understood you, but it's definitely someone else.
That's why we have different methods of teaching people.
Yeah.
There's a parenthesis in there.
Yeah, there is.
Somewhere.
So I take out my Frankenstein matinee ticket, and I whisper to it, "Can you show us the direction, or follow the direction of the coin thingy? Can you?
Coin on a string is still active for another 10 minutes ish.
Okay. Can you follow the direction of this coin, and then keep going straight even after the coin is done?"
And you say that, and as you say that, you begin folding little corners. And Flo, you just watch a woman take a movie ticket out of her pocket and begin like whispering to it, and then folding it up into little bits. Nervous tick of Tannies maybe you haven't seen before.
I put a hand on Flo's shoulder and I say the time period equivalent of let her cook.
Bonnie Rivers isn't here today. We don't have orange apples. Says the one who has cooked.
All right.
And so you create this tiny little insect. And what is the little insect you create this time?
Let's see, it was a beetle before. How about a bee?
Little bee. We're gonna go for a sleek and slim honeybee. You create this dart of speed to go ahead, and you hear the buzzing of bee wings despite it being paper as it flies up into the air and wing, flies after.
I'll redo the thing. It says, a much-handled movie ticket stub from an unknown movie theater. We decided it was the Frankenstein movie because it was time period appropriate. It creases and folds creates... its creases and folds create wondrous shapes. By spending a level of effort, the ticket folds into a shape of a small insect or bird. The creature obeys your commands, and it is able to travel a long distance away from the user. It is able to repeat short phrases, and it has that it has heard before. It lasts 10 minutes per Cypher level.
Okay.
And I'm just like,
It's heard the lines from Frankenstein.
it's so long.
Oh, that's so good. I didn't think about that.
All
It
right.
zooms off. And with the plumb bob still pulling on your thread, you are able to follow it along as well. You all begin to wend through these trees. Is there anything you're doing as you're following Tanny's directions with his string? Tanny?
Can I retroactively spend one more level of effort so that it lasts like 20 minutes instead of... Wait, how long did we
Not
just...
how it works.
Not how it works.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
per cipher level. So what level is it?
10 minutes per cycle. Oh, I see. It's a level, I think 2 or 3. It got rubbed off, so I just wrote
It's a level
2
4.
on there.
Because
Oh,
it was
it's
40
4?
minutes was the whole thing.
Even better.
I'll maintain a positive attitude.
Nice. You can do that. Free action.
I'm just gonna be talking to
It
myself.
takes some effort here.
I think Flo would just be checking our progress as we go, just to make sure we're not getting lost.
Using the journal or the map?
So I'm gonna be using the map. The journal, I can use at night. Yeah, before sleep. So we're not quite ready yet.
I'll use the rifle as a walking stick.
For sure. It is in a case, so you got like a big honking case of a rifle.
And I'm gonna just kind of use it, just kind of almost like a crutch, as I go. Sure that Alma won't mind.
It is also like not. George is too tall.
Putting like a lot of weight on the barrel of this weapon.
Does anyone need any recovery?
Okay.
Doesn't seem like it.
Okay.
So as you're walking along, Flo is attempting to keep track of progress on the map. And eventually, after about 10 minutes, the plumb bob drops and just hangs there. And from what Simon's told you, it's done. It's finished its time limit. And you can choose to keep the coin or hand it back to Simon.
I'm holding it, and it was pointing, and then it drops. I'm gonna let go, and it just drops on the ground, and I keep going.
I walk by. I'll pick it up from my pocket.
Danny, bless her heart, doesn't really know what's going on, but sure believes it. Danny continues forward. And are you using your compass?
I'm using my compass, yes.
Eventually, the compass needle wavers.
Great.
It's still generally pointing north, but every once in a while it seems to swish in different directions, and not because you're turning.
Some sort of interference.
I'm gonna yell up to my little bee friend. Hey, Frankie, did you see anything going on up there?
And as you say that, you hear as the bee comes down and lands on your shoulder. You say, "He's in here!" And you hear the sound of as the bee like flies off in a direction.
In a different direction than we.
It has kind of oriented a slightly different direction. It seems to be pointing a little bit more this way, but it seems it's found something. And it's leading a charge of what you remember to be angry townsfolk with pitchforks. And then from far off in the distance, you hear, "It's alive!"
Do we all hear that?
Do we follow the bee?
Frankie,
ticket?
you come back?
Alright, I'm just gonna start walking towards where the thing went.
I was
This
gonna
is not-
say we keep going the other
This
way.
is not. This is the strangest thing that's happened today. Somehow.
Flo follows.
Good job, Tanny. Then I follow.
Thanks. Good job, Frankie.
And as you get closer, you see your ticket unfolded. The time has finished, it seems. And it is laying neatly on top of Alma.
On like on a body?
I poke her with the rifle. Is she alive?
You hear a groan. She's alive.
She's taking
Does she look hurt in any of the 3 pools?
She seems hurt in some of the pools, yes. If
I
you
would
were
like
to
to-
think about the medieval medical checks you make of balancing
the top,
the
the
three
middle, or the bottom
pools.
pool.
The
I would like-
humors.
Her pulls are out of balance.
I'd like to walk over and charm touch her to heal whatever it is that.
Yeah,
Maybe
she's
to
definitely
wake her up.
gotten scrapes and bruises. You see a few like lacerations from what seem to be like scrapes of branches maybe hitting her. Seems like she was dragged away. And whatever,
Heals 5 to her might.
great. And whatever it was, she appears to have fought it off. She has not been completely pulled because you don't see other people around.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my ticket and put it in my pocket.
Seeing that Alma's here and alive,
She is unconscious, we'll say. She's kind of out of it.
Flo's gonna look around. What time is it? And then also, are there any indications of scuffle here?
Go ahead and give me a perception check. It'll be level 3.
Okay.
Just to gain some insight, but as a routine, what you do see is it is dark.
Okay. So, I do get an eased 1 for perception related tasks. I think that's it.
Can I help? And I want to specifically help, as you say it's getting dark, I will pick up a stick, and then the end of the stick will start to light up as I use Foxfire on it.
I've already seen that one.
I have a lantern. 15.
Very nice.
Stick.
So, in addition to the lantern, you have a glow stick. Simon, for some reason, gets out his harmonica and starts like dancing in the woods. This might be part of the magic. We're not sure.
Unclear.
But
Simon's version of charm person.
Simon put these tablets in our tongue and I feel amazing.
someone found the bottles of sherry.
Yeah.
Time period equivalent of drop that fucking beat.
Sadly, the spoons are not here.
I was gonna say.
You look around this area. There's definitely signs of a scuffle. Notably, the area around Alma is cleared of branch and brush. It's kind of just loose, soft dirt. She herself is quite dirty, cut up, looking a little, seems to be resting a little bit easier from Simon's little song. Everyone is looking a little bit roughed up. The trees, as ever, standing guard. It's difficult to see the sky. But judging about what time of day you came back to the camp, how long you spent discussing, the knowledge of how long Simon said his plum bob would last, you get the sense that if it's not truly nighttime, it's nighttime where you are.
All right. Well, at least we found Alma. Let's set up camp, keep an eye on her, make sure she wakes up, all right? And we're not going to be getting too much farther in the dark.
Do we light a fire, or would that be...
Simon looks nervous at that suggestion.
What was the question?
I have a camp stove.
Wouldn't that require fire?
We do need to stay warm.
I don't want to make the trees mad.
Fire.
Flo's gonna look at our supplies really quick. Look at our people and be like, did anyone else bring a fucking bedroll? Am
Yeah,
I the
I
only
did.
one with a bedroll?
If you have bedrolls in your item list, you brought a bedroll. Notably, you know George came with just the clothes on his back.
Yeah.
I have
Sky
Miner's
Palace.
tent. I don't remember if that got...
You had set that up. If you took the time to take it down,
Did it get brought down when the... Oh, I see. How long does it take to take down a miner's tent?
how long do you think it would take Simon to put up and take down a tent?
Would it have been taken down when we built the cabin?
Did you still have it in use after that, or would you have put it away?
Well, we didn't need it anymore because we moved.
It's up to you. It's your tent.
No, I guess I would just stay in the cabin. So I guess I would have put it away.
So yeah,
No
you
one
have
was
it with
using
you.
it. We have a tent.
I have a hammock.
Just know that any fire could attract the thing that is chasing me.
What is this thing?
I'm gonna say this wrong. It's not from these lands. It's from my father's home in China, Adalji, and it's a canine harbinger of fiery death is what it loosely translates to
That sounds
in
scary.
this land's tongue.
Why is it following you?
I don't really know.
Well, maybe we could just ask it to stop. Have you tried that?
I don't think that will work.
That I'm hearing you haven't tried it though.
Is that a corn man too?
No.
Oh.
George, go ahead and give me a roll around the understanding of magic. It is a 4. A 4?
No, thank you.
No? So you don't have to. If you'd rather
Objectives
not
don't
follow
have
that
the
train of thought,
ability.
you don't have to.
No, I will. And this is a non-combat task.
It's a non-combat task.
You know what? We're resting. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna spend 3 of my intellect to ease that by 1 to 3, which means I need a 9. That's a natural 20.
Good God, man! Your
Hilarious.
dice.
Very good.
Thank you.
Fuck yeah.
Still
We dice.
is- You have 2.
You have it?
Well,
Not-
Alana already leveled up. We haven't, so I'm trying to get us all
I
to the point where we
got-
can level up to 2.
When I was walking around the woods, I got a lot of experience. Because I was walking around the woods by myself, finding out things.
For days.
You didn't have to come rescue me, though.
As that discussion is happening, George, you think about what you've seen with the creatures that attach themselves to people or others. Some of them are good, some of them are mischievous, and in your experience, none of them have been truly bad. Simon seems to believe his is truly bad.
I look at Simon. Is he wrong?
Being who you are, you see the good in everything.
Yeah.
Simon's still alive.
Simon, we'll figure something out. I think we could light a fire, no problem.
At the very least, we should probably make sure everyone is warm enough overnight so no one dies in the middle of the night. Also, we should cook our food. We can't eat raw meat.
Oh, the food's already cooked.
Is that why the truck smelled like steak?
Here's yours. Hands you perfectly cooked steak. That's how you
One,
like it.
It's probably not steak. It's probably like quail, guys. It's probably game birds.
You got a few game birds. You also
Wild.
have
Perfectly
Wild
roasted.
cow.
Quail thigh.
you also have some venison.
Damn.
And a venison steak.
Damn.
In fact,
There-
it's
that's
a-
the steak.
The steak sandwich with the quail turkey leg. And...
It's the piece of wood that was holding it all together.
Yeah.
There's the
They're
steak.
tucking.
Yeah. So, as we're setting up camp, Flo's gonna put her bedroll, but she will also spend 1 hour to use living off the land. Give an hour so you can always find edible food and potable water in the wilderness. You can even find enough for a small group of people if need be. Further, since you're so hardy and have trained resistance over time, you are trained resisting the effects of natural poisons and natural. You're also immune to natural diseases, which is cool as shit. I thought it was a natural disasters for a second, which would be hilarious.
I just avoid earthquakes and
Tsunami
tornadoes.
rising up,
She's
and
just like,
I've
just
got this.
just parts the Red Sea around Flo. That's when you get to tier 6.
You just put Flo right in front of your critical infrastructure.
It's fine.
Flo, you're able to find some water from the nearby creek. You followed that very same creek along your journey as the last time you were here. So you're familiar with it. You kind of hear it off in the distance. The trees are not cooperating. They make it hard for you. But you've been here before, and you know what? Gosh darn it, if they're not going to get out of the way and let you do your job.
Flo will come back with some water, and like if she could find anything else, she'll bring it, but she'll be visibly annoyed.
A resting face for Flo.
All right, so we need to keep some kind of eyes out. What
I can keep watch.
Okay.
As you all begin to settle in for the night, keeping a watch, making sure the trees don't come no closer.
Hey, you.
Stop it! You see a raccoon just like. That is where we're going to end our session today. Alma has been returned to you, or maybe Alma has returned herself to you. We'll find out next time. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this session of Iron and Thorn, the Broken Throne. And we'll see you in 2 weeks for what may be the final session. Goodbye.